It's better. If you like these updates, I do want to let you know, check out the Patreon down below and follow us on all these social media platforms. We have a lot to talk about today, though, so let's get into it. First, of course, it is Conson, also known as Jolina in the Philippines, made landfall as a typhoon in eastern Samar. One of the most quickly intensifying storm systems I've seen in a long time. And not only going from a tropical storm to a strong typhoon, but from basically nothing. None of the models hinted at anything. We weren't talking about anything out here 48 hours ago, and this spun up. And it wasn't just me. It was none of the models, none of the agencies. There was nothing there. And this guy just spun right up out here. By the way, we also have another system back here towards the east. That could be called Conson, already named a tropical depression as well. I have a separate video on that, so check out this channel. All right, so this did make landfall eastern Samar, now moving just towards the north of Tacloban and eventually out here towards the inland sea, continuing to start to produce showers across parts of Mindoro, Legazpi, and even in Catanduanes. You're starting to see that moisture come back around. All about the rainfall with this one. Of course, the wind is there. I mean, just we have signal force warnings actually in place in western Samar at signal force 3. Remember, signal force warnings are based on the wind, not the rainfall. Actually, just had a nice talk with a forecaster at Pagasa, and he said that was one of the challenges is that, signal force 3 or 2, people just kind of go, meh. But it's also about the rainfall and also about, the threats that come with that too as this moves off towards north and west. Also did just get notified too that signal force 1 has been issued out there into the Metro Manila area as well. All right, here's a look at that forecast as we go ahead. This is by Wednesday at 9 a.m. According to JTWC, it's going to have winds of 110 kilometers per hour at a pressure of 998 hectopascals. Now, here's the key thing I want you to watch. Look at the top left of the screen as this moves right over the NCR. That is the Metro Manila area. And by the way, like I said, I know this guy is here. It is interesting. I'm going to have a separate video on that. So watch this channel, check it out, search for that. That is a pretty interesting storm. I think it's going to have bigger impacts on Taiwan. As this moves right over the NCR, wind speeds could be sustained at 95 kilometers per hour, gusting well over 100 kilometers per hour, pressure at 998. That is enough to definitely toss around light objects. And then, we're not even talking about the rainfall, which is naturally going to come with it. Urban flooding is always an issue in the Metro Manila area, and that is definitely going to be a problem with this. And then eventually our storm's going to move towards the north and west and eventually impact Hainan there in southern China and possibly over towards Vietnam as it moves out there towards Hanoi as well. This is just the same forecast, by the way, as I just showed you, the official forecast from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. Some people have a better idea, understanding, and showing this. Plus, it doesn't just show the cone of air. I do like JTWC and the way they lay out their forecast. It shows the extent of the wind field from it. And yeah, it's kind of interesting, but here's the deal. It also shows that this could be intensifying up to that typhoon status. That's that area in purple as it moves off towards Hainan. So still a dangerous storm system as it moves towards the north and west. Closer look, remember, right here. That's why I love these new graphics, guys, and I'm really thankful everybody is helping me out. Right there, that is the time and the date. Shows you what we're talking about here. As we go ahead through Wednesday, it's about 2, 3 o'clock right over the Metro Manila area. So Wednesday afternoon through the evening, my friends. Don't venture out. Stay in. Be prepared for this one. It is going to be producing those areas in the greens. I mean, this yellow's over 50 kilometers per hour. Rain's wrapping in around it. And then we're also going to be seeing some of those showers pass up towards the Sierra Madre Mountains. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some flooding out there. And eventually off towards parts of Region 1, 2. Watch this as it tracks right overhead. And eventually out towards Pangasinan as well. That's where it's going to kind of depart the pattern and head off towards the north and west. But boy, yeah, and then of course we have our other system traversing out there towards the north, which eventually is going to be rolling right into southeastern Taiwan if that forecast continues to remain in place. There could be a major flood threat out there in Taiwan. But here's all the different things I want you to take away from this update. Heavy rainfall, of course, flooding, strong winds, obviously. Here's another thing, tornadic activity. We have a system that has a lot going on. There's a lot of turbulence in it. We could be seeing some tornadoes coming out of this. And just kind of one more look at the timeline as we go ahead through the afternoon and the evening, right near the Metro Manila area before it departs off towards the west on Wednesday. So hey guys, if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know down in the comment box below. Always appreciate your feedback. Make sure that you check in with those official agencies. Know that information from official sources. I'm not an official source. Prepare to evacuate if needed. Don't ignore this. If you are told to evacuate, make sure you stay safe with it. Don't ever want to hear anybody saying, you know, they lost friends or families. You can always rebuild. And I've been doing this long enough. I've talked to a lot of you about rebuilding, but I'm always happy to talk to you about it. So that means you made it through all right. All right. Now, like I said, it's not a super typhoon, and that's one thing. But I think that a lot of people are probably going to be caught off guard by this because it did spin up so quickly, and there wasn't a lot of hype out ahead of it. So it could catch a few people off guard. All right, everybody's favorite graphic. I love this one too. All right, here's Davao, 33 degrees here as we go ahead into your Wednesday, 29 out there in Cagayan. Obviously, thunderstorms further towards the north on Wednesday, of course, in Legazpi over towards Rojas. Manila at 29, obviously thunderstorms because we're at the afternoon, windy conditions, gust up and over 100 kilometers per hour possible across the NCR, and then eventually into Pangasinan as well. Might get some downward vertical motion on the northern edge of our storm system. That means northern Luzon could be looking at relatively dry conditions as it's sucking all the energy in further towards the south into the Metro Manila area. I think that's kind of interesting if you're out here in northern Luzon, but you know, you're not going to miss out on everything because obviously we're still watching our other system back here towards the east. All right, once again, I am meteorologist Robert Spetta. Like I said before, if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know. Plus, check out our Patreon. It is in the link down below. Always appreciate that and always appreciate the feedback. Always appreciate everybody who has been helping out here on Patreon as well. I know I say it a lot, but it really does make these videos possible. Stay safe out there. That's the key thing. And as always, thanks for watching.